Today's video we're going to be talking about how Joaquin Buckley will be the next welterweight champ.
Even through his arms, that was a big shot. No
matter what happens with the belt at UFC 315, Belal vs JDM, that does not matter to Buckley. All he cares about is that belt, not who he has to fight for that belt. And Shavkat is going to be out for at least a year. And the UFC will want 2 title fights during that time. And if Shavkat can't make that second turnaround, Buckley is the clear option. Because UFC 315 is in May the 10th in Canada, the UFC will want another welterweight title at least by the end of the year, if not before. Which means we should be looking for a turnaround from either JDM or Belal around October, November time. Earliest, probably September, latest December. But I doubt he'd be on the December card to end the year if it was Belal or JDM. They're not big enough stars. Now we get into the real facts. Buckley had the best 2024 of any athlete in the UFC. Only one that you could argue that had a better 2024 is Ilya Topuria. But the fact is, before 2023, Buckley was an unknown name. He was a 1 KO merchant at middleweight, and no one knew who he was, bar the hardcores. Now, he is 1 fight away from the title in less than 2 years, and 4 wins at 2024, 2 against top 10 middleweights in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Colby Covington. Obviously, that Colby fight is not what we wanted with the doctor stoppage, but we can't get everything we wanted. But this man should have more hype than Shavkat and JDM, because his activity is something that Shavkat can only dream of. He fought 4 times in 1 year. Shavkat has fought 4 times in 4 years. He fought the same amount of times as Shavkat did in 4 years in 1 year. Obviously, it's not JDM's fault that he broke his arm and has been inactive because of that. But if you look at his best win, it is Gilbert Burns. But then you look at Buckley's best win, it's Wonderboy and Colby Covington. That's a better win than Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, if he loses to Michael Morales, he could be out of the rankings at the welterweight. He is near the end of his career. He did have a good performance against JDM, even though everyone was saying that he was winning. It was 1-1 going into the 3rd. But that is JDM's best win. And you're telling me that knocking out Wonderboy on the feet ain't a better win than that? He didn't submit Wonderboy like Shavkat did, no. He knocked him out on the feet. And then defending all of Kobe's takedowns and completely destroying him. It was 3-0 in that fight. Kobe didn't get a single round. You cannot convince me otherwise. If you're trying to, you know nothing about the sport. It's a shame that Buckley lost his hype, because he would have KO'd or TKO'd Colby. It's a shame, because that would have been another hype moment, another KO in the top of a top 10 welterweight, and that would have helped his hype. But the doctor stopped it. But then you look at Shavkat. His best win is either Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who Buckley beat in a better fashion, on the feet. He didn't submit him. And then, or Ian Gary, who was a very, very close fight and nearly choked out Shavkat. But then Buckley's got Colby or Ian Gary. Probably Ian Gary is a better win at the moment, but on the resume of the time, Colby is a better win. He's been fought for the title so many times, been at the top of welterweight for so long. Even though some people don't consider him elite anymore, neither do I. His longevity and his resume before helps Buckley. Buckley should be fighting for the title. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why they would pick JDM over Buckley to fight Belal when Shavkat pulled out. Because JDM's coming off a broken arm and a 1.5 years of inactivity, whereas Buckley is coming off a 4-fight winning streak in 2024, well, a 6-fight winning streak overall, 4-fight winning streak in 2024. But due to his activity, his performances, and He's bringing hype to these matchups. He's on YouTube. He's calling out Belal. He just posted that video saying he's coming for his Belal, gonna take everything that he's worked for, and he's getting that belt. JDM ain't doing that. JDM sat at the press conference, didn't say anything. To be fair, they didn't ask him any questions, and that's on the UFC. They should be promoting their athletes better. They've only been promoting Shavkat out of the three of them, and Shavkat don't even speak English, bruv. Why? But his activity is levels above both of them. Obviously, JDM, not his fault, and his activity before that was similar to Buckley's. That's why I say not his fault. But Shavkat, it is his fault. He not getting injured. He literally took a year off after submitting Wonder Boy and taking barely any damage. Like, why? There's no need. He's acting like a champion already. Like, I understand from a point of view he might want to spend time with his family, and like that's fair enough. But look at these other guys and their activity. This should be rewarded with a title shot, not Shavkat. And at the end of the day, he destroyed Kobe over 3 rounds, which is something that Leon Edwards couldn't do. Like, Leon Edwards dominantly beat him. Usman dominantly beat him. But they didn't destroy him, like, or dominate him like Buckley did. Obviously, that was a better Kobe, but it's still something to be said. But Buckley is promoting himself, putting in the effort, doing his YouTube, doing all of this. This should be rewarded. Dana should be promoting Buckley, saying the most active fighter in the welterweight division, coming off a 6-fight win streak, 4 in 2024. The most improved fighter of 2024. Just gas him up. Why is he not doing this? But now we move on to, can Buckley beat Belal? I believe he can. I believe he's got a very, very good style to beat Belal. And this is because he's very explosive. He's got a lot of power. And this will be able to stop Belal from just moving forward, throwing punches and going for that takedown like he did against Leon Edwards. Because Leon Edwards, he doesn't have the knockout power in his hands. He got it in his... He can knock you out with a head kick, but he's not knocking you out with punches. Whereas Buckley he's throwing volume, he's throwing combinations, he's holding the center of the octagon very, very well, which is something very important against Belal, because he cannot go against the cage, because that will just help Belal get the takedown. But Buckley holds the center of the octagon very well, moves back very well, keeps his hands up tight, moving at all times, bopping his head, moving his head. It will be hard for Belal to land a lot of punches on Buckley. Belal has good combinations, but he is quite slow, whereas Buckley is very explosive and fast. And we've seen what Buckley's explosivity can do in fights, and how quickly it can change a fight. Buckley needs to go out there from the first round, using the distance, keeping the distance, making sure to hold the center of the octagon, not getting pulled towards the cage by Belal. And he also needs to be careful of not walking into takedowns, because the wrestling is Belal's bread and butter. He doesn't submit people very much, and his ground and pound is not very devastating. But his top pressure and his pressure in wrestling in general, and what he can do, and how he can tire you out when you're on the ground, is very, very good. Very similar to Khabib in the suffocatingness of his wrestling. We have not seen Buckley go up against a wrestler of Belal's caliber. Kobe was a very good American wrestler, but we have seen time and time again, American wrestling does not work in MMA anymore, because they don't chain wrestle like the Daggies do. DC has said it himself that they need to chain wrestle. They need to go for the double leg, but then change up. But he's not telling them this, and we just see time and time again America's wrestlers lose or just not use their wrestling. Gaethje was a wrestler. Like, that's all I have to say to prove my point. Gaethje was a wrestler. He's a baby. He was a baby on the ground when Khabib took him there. He's a baby on the ground whenever anyone takes him there. But Buckley did show he has very good spools and very good takedown defense. And the fact is, Buckley has a lower center of gravity, and it will be harder for Belal to take down Buckley than it would be Leon Edwards, because Leon Edwards is slightly taller than Belal at 6 foot, whereas Buckley is 5'9", and Belal is apparently 5'11". I'm thinking he's 5'10", though. I don't think Belal is 5'11", but 5'10 and a half maybe. But Buckley has to be very, very wary of Belal's wrestling and the takedowns. That is the most important thing, and he knows that. He knows that, but he can't let that affect his striking as much. Because we've just seen it in the Alex Pereira fight where he was scared to throw because he didn't want to get held against the cage for so long. There were no takedowns that fight. It was just holding against the cage, but he lost because Ankalaev did have better shots on the feet as well. Right, he lost that fight because he acted as if the takedown was there for the first time in his career. He's never done that before, but it was the hardest fight he ever had to face. But Buckley has all the tools to beat Belal, and he will have the game plan. It's just, can he keep his cardio and his explosivity if it goes to the 5th round, and can he win that decision? Because we all know Belal can win that decision. That is not an issue. Belal can always win that decision. In this fight, we don't have to worry about Buckley getting knocked out. If anything, Buckley will be the one that knocks out Belal. But Buckley has had only one 5-round fight ever in the Kobe fight, and it didn't go 5 rounds. Belal has very, very good cardio, whereas Buckley has not had a 5-round fight before. This shouldn't be too much of an issue if he has experienced coaches and good teammates on his team. This shouldn't be an issue, but Belal has the experience of the 5-round fights, and he does have very, very good cardio and cardio management. Belal is no slouch on the feet. He will land shots on Buckley. Buckley does have good defense, but he was getting caught on the feet by Wonderboy. Obviously, Wonderboy is an amazing striker, one of the best at welterweight, and Belal is not. He has good boxing combinations. He has some fast-ish hands. He ain't moving like Canelo, but Buckley has the power to stop Belal just moving forward, looking for those takedowns, keeping him at bay, and landing the damaging shots. That is what Buckley needs to do. Belal ain't going to be landing the damaging shots. How Belal wins this fight is taking Buckley down and keeping him there and tiring him out. But as long as Buckley gets to the end of the round after getting taken down, he will have 5 opportunities to be on his feet and to knock out Belal. I think we're going to see Buckley come out from the start, explosive, quick, moving forward, not letting Belal get any time to think, not let Belal just at all just move. And I think we'll see some good damage from Buckley in the first round, and then Belal will start getting the flow. I think this will be a very, very good and competitive fight, and I think it will actually be entertaining. I think we're going to see a very, very good war on the feet, and I do think Belal will get some takedowns, but I do not see Belal finishing Buckley on the ground at all, and I feel that Buckley will be landing the more damaging shots throughout the fight, and at the round 4 mark, Belal's strength won't be as effective, neither will Buckley's, but Buckley has the strength advantage, and strength is a big factor in wrestling and getting those takedowns. So I think we could see in the later rounds Belal not getting those takedowns, and we'll see Belal start tiring out, and we will see a round 4 Buckley KO over Belal. Let me know what you think. Can Buckley beat Belal? Is he the best stylistic matchup to beat Belal, or am I just waffling? In a bit.